What's up, troops? It's me, TheTacticalBrit, and today I'm back with another squad guide, and today we're looking at the specific role of the squad leader. Now, I'm going to define to you guys what a squad leader does and some of the specific things that they have at their sort of availability that not many other players will have available to them. So first and foremost, what is a squad leader and what do they do? A squad leader is effectively well, it's in the name really, it's the leader of the squad. Each team is comprised of multiple squads and each team has multiple squad leaders. Those squad leaders communicate within each other using the G key, which I explained in my communication video, and once they've done that, they relay orders to their squads. Those orders then get followed, and as a result a cohesive system is made. Each squad leader effectively runs their squad, and one effective squad working in coordination with other effective squad creates an effective team. And as a squad leader, you're the guy that's handing out the orders. You're the guy who's kind of running the show, so to speak. It kind of all falls upon your shoulder, and you're the guy who's going to be the decision maker in changing the tide of a game if it's not going your way, or making sure that you win a match if it is going your way. It's quite a pretty heavy task to take on, and it's something that isn't particularly easy to do, and I'd recommend only really experienced players or players who feel as though they're capable enough of handling a multitask of things. Because bearing in mind, you're going to be engaging troops on the ground, you're going to be telling your squad what to do, you're going to be talking to your squad leaders about what's happening. It's a lot going on at one time, and it can be very enduring indeed. I know it sounds crazy considering you're playing a video game, but mentally multitasking that many things at one time is pretty tough to do, especially in very coordinated games. Now, moving along from that, there are some special things that a squad leader can do. And the first one here is what I've shown off here, which is placing a forward operating base. Now, a forward operating base is a spawn point in the game. As you can see on my map here, it's represented by this little castle here. But what a forward operating base does is not only does it act as a spawn point, it acts as almost a central hub for supplying teammates, for building defenses, and just being a generally effective deployment point in many capacities, many capacities. So if I were to put this near a flag, I could put that flag or capture flag with lots of bunkers or some gun emplacements, some machine gun emplacements, and a forward operating base can only stop being spawned on once it's overrun. And there's a lot of options that are available to you within this short menu, including things like specifying targets, specifying observations, and you can press T to bring this little thing up here. But you get deployables. Now, as you can see there, this yellow folder here, I have deployables. I have absolutely everything at my disposal here. So I can let's do something relatively simplistic. I can start off with a sandbag wall. I press that, press the shoot button, left click on the mouse, and there you go. That metal structure is placed and people can do that. I place another one because I want a machine gun next to my sandbag. Boom. It's been placed. Now, normally in the top left corner where that FOB has an ammo count and a hammer count would progressively lose numbers as I placed each of these buildings. But at the moment, because we're on the firing range, that isn't the case, so we can place absolutely everything. And I can place a whole manner of different things here to make this FOB a complete defensive gridlock. I could place sandbags upon sandbags. I could set up a pillbox even of sandbags that has little bits for people to lay under at the bottom. I can put down HESCO walls. Let's go for a HESCO wall. That thing can stop anything coming at your way. It's really huge. It's a lot of things that you can do with this thing. It's ammo crates, it's a vehicle repair station, HMGs, HMG bunkers, and this thing is huge. And I mean, there's so many options available to you, and there's just so much potential surrounding an FOB and the kind of things you can do with it. And each of these HMG emplacements and things like that get resupplied by the ammo count in the top left corner, and each emplacement costs a certain amount of sort of hammers. I don't know what the actual word we use for it is in Squad, but you see the hammer symbol up here. It's the same hammer symbol that you can see here, and that is how things work in this game. We get a little vehicle repair station there. And eventually you will have around the flag or the FOB this huge defensive outpost. Now that's not to say that should always be the case. Sometimes we place FOBs in the middle of nowhere around the edges of flags in covert positions. We don't want them to be noticed. We don't want huge bunkers around them because they're supposed to be really hard to see, and that does happen too. But that's a basic spawn point for you, and the FOB not only acts as a spawn point for everybody on your team, not just your squad, it's also a way of creating a defensive line which is going to be incredibly helpful in defending flags, or perhaps even just defending a place of tactical importance. So, moving along from the FOB, which is a very cool thing with lots of cool structures, and if I had some guys to build with some shovels here, we'd have lots of different structures popping up all over the place there. I've shown people how to use the shovels in another guide in the description below where I detailed guns and equipment. Check that out too. The next one is a rally point. Rally point is also another form of spawn point. As you can see, this one's green because it only applies to my squad, whereas that applied to the entire team. You get 9 spawns per rally, it cannot be placed within 50 meters of enemies, and eventually it will run out of spawns. If your team keeps on spawning on it, it will run out, and it's really important that the squad lead always has a definitive spawn on the rally, because if the squad lead doesn't have a spawn on the rally, it's safe to say once that's gone, there is no way you are going to get back to that position without having to spawn a fob which is further away and then run all the way back to your previous position. So a rally is sort of a quick fire deployment point in locations of tactical importance, but also ones that like just genuinely benefit the spread of your team. If I put a rally point towards, say there's a capture point in, let's have a look, let's say there's a capture point over here, somewhere down in J10, and I put a rally point up there, then I have a good attacking route to attack that thing if my FOB is miles and miles away. It's just a very good quick fire deployment point. And like I say, make sure as a squad leader you've ensured that you have enough deployment points. Now, the next one is enemy markers, and you can place these things using T, so you can just sort of look, there you go, there's an observe marker, get my teammates to look at that observe marker. But there's a much better way of doing this. Hit the map key, hit the enter key. Once you do that, you can then scroll in and out in your map, and you can do all kinds of things. You get a much better system of doing things. So, as a squad leader, I'm looking around and I see, holy shit, one of my squad mates has spotted somebody in K1. And he said it's K1, keep at 1. So that's K1, keep at 1. He said it's a machine gunner. So I go over here, press the helmet, machine gunner. He then says there's a sniper in keypad 2. Go over here, press the sniping symbol. He then says that there's an anti-tank personnel. Go there, roughly put one there. Kind of fucked up the first one, but hey ho, anti-tank. Then all of a sudden he says, oh wait, there's a gun emplacement there too. There we go. So let's put down the gun emplacement symbol. And these symbols are very important because they reference the location of enemies to all of your team, and it's very important that you can do that and get a rough approximation of where enemies are. There'll be times when you're playing squad where you'll get shot at and you will have not a flying clue in the world where these things are. And if you're squad leader and you can effectively lay down locations for your teammates to look at, you're going to help the general flow and direction of the game. There are also symbols for a number of other things. We have the observe symbol here. So I get my teammates to look at I3, keep at, I believe that is 5, yep, keep at 5. And then I can say, hey guys, I want you to attack J3, keep at 6. I want you to, sorry, keep at 5 again. I want you to use that attacking symbol, which is the sword. We also have the shield symbol as well, which is the defensive symbol. We have the stack up symbol, which is like everybody, we're going to regroup here. And then we have the shuffle symbol, which is the building symbol. And we also have other symbols as well, such as vehicular symbols, so Humvees, things like that. There's a tank, there's all sorts of shit going on. And then we have the FOB, so that's an enemy FOB symbol. I've spotted an FOB in between K3 and J3. We should go and hit that right now and take that thing out. And all these symbols equate to a general direction of play that the squad leader can lay down. So, squad leader, your role is not only to communicate with other squad leads through the G key, it's to lay down FOBs, it's to direct your teammates to objectives and direct your squad mates to objectives, and be the center of coordination. The squad lead lays down all forms of coordination and the squad members follow it. That's how this system works. Don't know why I felt through a grenade there, I just really fancied it. But hey ho, that's about it. And the only other thing I can really mention for the squad lead, in terms of equipment is that he gets a set of binoculars, and he also has some coloured smoke as well. Only squad leaders have coloured smoke though, and grenadiers. Grenade launchers also have some coloured smoke, so your squad lead can throw out a red smoke grenade, maybe they want to throw out a blue smoke grenade as well, and they can say, guys, there's some enemies in this building where I've marked down the smoke, or they use the smoke to perhaps use as cover for a medic to revive a teammate. But that's about it. It's some limited equipment, and it's the T key, which is the menu for all of these deployables and all of these, wonderfully interesting emplacements that you can make. But the squad lead is effectively the center of coordination, and that's all it's really about. Now, in the next few videos, I'm going to be covering the medic, the grenadier, and any other things that are down in the description below. Check them out. And you guys will be able to get some guides on some other roles available in-game. It's been me, the Tactical Brit, and I'll see you guys soon again in another guide.